We're just regular people. We're a family of farmers that do what everybody else does every day. We get up and go to work, and most of the time we don't go anywhere. We stay on the farm. And
yeah, we're just a regular couple, you know. We live in a small area in southwest Wisconsin. My husband's a farmer. He works 7 days a week. He milks every day.
I'm a farmer. I milk 80 to 90 cows every day. We run probably 500 acres roughly. Plus we have beef cows and hogs, just finished hogs.
By no means were we ever in a financial state where we ever thought we could afford IVF.
Some of the misconceptions can be that they're going to face a very highly expensive treatment and that they're going to have to do IVF. And that's not the case at all. About 4% of patients actually end up doing IVF, and that means that 96% actually don't do IVF. They do all kinds of other things.
I really wanted a big family right away. So a month before we got married, we said, let's start trying to have a kid. So I thought the day I got married, we would be expecting. Well, it didn't work. And then I just tried for about a year, and at that time I had said, you know, I knew after a year that you needed to start seeing somebody.
I was at a loss. For the longest time, I had told my mom that I was never gonna have kids. But then I met my husband and all that changed. You know, I did want to have children with him. We tried for 4 years and no success.
First few things we tried didn't work, and the drive home you just a sinking feeling, you know, and then we'd come back and try again, and that didn't work. And how many times we said, well, maybe we shouldn't even come back again, but then we got it, and we want this so bad. And
the reason I couldn't get pregnant is because I had polycystic ovaries, and my husband had fertility issues also. Finding that out was a big blow to the both of us because we really both wanted children.
I had stage 1 endometriosis, and my husband had low motile sperm. So, I mean, between the two of us, we both had our difficulties that we needed help with. That's why we started the infertility journeys, because he knew I wanted this more than anything in the world, and I was not willing to quit. You hit a point where you hit rock bottom and you just don't know what to do.
It's really stressful in a marriage because, I mean, just the tension all the time. I mean, our friends were getting pregnant and we weren't.
We never knew in a million years we would ever afford this. We never expected to ever afford it.
Many people would go first to their general obstetrician gynecologist. Some might even stop in at their family practitioner if that is who provides their general care. And some people outside of reproductive endocrinology have the interest, and they learn a lot about it, and they really can get someone started well, and sometimes they don't ever have to move beyond that care. But there's a lot of people that they don't really have that much training, and so you want to be careful that you don't get stuck just doing the same thing over and over again, so that you move forward. And that's when going to see a reproductive endocrinologist can really help, because they've got the background, they've got experience, they've got a lot more, if you want to call it, tricks in their back pocket.
The other clinic that I went to before I came to Gundersen Lutheran was a money trap. I mean, every time you walked in there, it was $250 for an ultrasound you paid before you walked out. They didn't bother to file your insurance, even if you had infertility benefits. I mean, it was like you were going to the grocery store. You went in, you had something done, you paid like you were checking out.
When I went to set up this program and we were looking at pricing things out, I said, I just don't want any hidden charges. And I want to be able to tell a patient that this is what it's going to cost, running from a certain point of time to another point of time with all the care in between included. And that was a little different idea even for here. And yet Gundersen, their philosophies went along with the idea of, well, yes, we do want to be upfront and transparent for the patients.
If I hadn't been referred to Gundersen Lutheran, I probably wouldn't have my son, because we didn't have any other options. Gundersen does make it affordable for regular people like us, farmers, that don't have a lot of money.
Many times it can end up being cost effective to seek out care from a reproductive endocrinologist early in your infertility problems, because they will know what needs to be looked for. There's many little things that are not so expensive that we can do, and so we would work with a couple to try and come up with what will work the best for them.
The day I got to hold my baby was wonderful. I had always wondered what the baby would look like. We hadn't found out prior what the baby was, so I got to find out it was a boy.
I was sitting up next to her holding her hand and heard, all of a sudden we heard a baby crying. The doctor, stand up and tell us what we got here, Dad. And stood up and there he was.
My life would have been completely empty without Nathan. He's just the light of my life. He's the center of my world.
The day I held Gwen was the best day of my life. I will remember that day and cherish that day forever.
She's the best in the world. I really didn't expect it to be as great as it is, but it's great to be a father.
There's not a day that goes by that I am not thankful for the decisions I made, and to really stick with my gut and know that having a family was the right thing for me to do. My goal in life was truly to have a beautiful family, and I have that now.